Hello, Terry.
Hi there, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Good.
Don't know
So,
if Tara's going to be able to join us today.
Tara?
Yeah, I spoke to her briefly yesterday, so not sure if she's going to be able to join or not.
Okay. Fair enough. This might be a quick meeting then. Okay. Do we have an agenda? Is there anything that we need to go over or anything that any blockers on your end? Anything I can help with?
There was one thing I think we discussed previously, about analytics on the website.
Oh, yeah, I don't control that. Actually, interestingly enough, because the best practices is a subdomain of the CDF website. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can ask internally. The LF actually controls that site, and Roxanne contributes to it. It's a WordPress site, and it's not open source, so I don't do much with it. But I will ask. So you would like analytics on the best practices? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so obviously that domain just redirects to our documentation set, which is obviously just a Hugo site. So it just depends what we would need to do in order to get access to any information associated with that.
Right. So I've worked with Hugo before, but as an independent site, not a subdomain. And I could set up the analytics, the Google Analytics anyways, directly on the site. Is that not possible from your side then?
Well, I'm sure we could. I haven't looked into it. And I also don't know what the policy is relating to those types of metrics. So I wanted to get a picture from the Linux Foundation about what was standard practice in that area and what was considered acceptable.
All right, great. So I'll ask if it can be possible to set up analytics on that subdomain, and if that's not the done thing, then if you can have access, or the best practices, they can have access to the analytics for that subdomain. That is very reasonable.
Okay, that sounds good. Did you have any further thoughts on the reference architecture stuff and how we fit that in with what we're doing best practices?
No, we did speak about it during the interoperability SIG. So we spoke about it mostly with Justin Abrams, who was there, and sort of maybe solicited some input from him, and just emphasized that we want, especially from his point of view as one of the co-chairs of that SIG, that it's important that interoperability be very much threaded through, I think, throughout that the idea is that right from the start, given the audience we're looking for the reference architecture, that we want to emphasize that interoperability is both important from any sort of medium to long-term maintenance perspective, but also very doable. And just kind of have that. Does that sound good? Make sense? Anything you want to add?
Absolutely. Well, I think clearly what we need to do is tie together all the pieces of work that we've been doing over the past few years to get that aligned into an overarching picture of how to approach continuous delivery. And I think what's important now is just making this more accessible, so that we have a wider audience, and it's much easier to understand the implications of the decisions that you're making in this space.
Yep. Those are excellent goals. Sounds good.
Okay, well, other than that, I don't have anything on the list right now. What we do need to do is obviously some work to get people back engaged with the best practices piece of work. You know, we haven't finished here. We've just started, so we need to motivate some people to come and get involved in the next phase and help move things forward. Yeah, I don't know whether
Are there
it's
any
worth
particular
us.
pieces of work that you are looking to have input on for the best
Well,
practice?
the phase for this year really was the community related stuff. So it was getting all of those contributions from the various groups within the community to look at, you know, examples of, you know, challenges that they've experienced in the space and how to use particular tools and projects to solve problems in those areas.
Okay, so the case studies are going to move forward, and we have a few sort of starting in the pipeline for getting those out. Is that what you are looking for? Is there something slightly related to that, but not quite that?
Yeah, so for example, you know, we agreed that Justin was going to do a white paper
Yes.
from the eBay perspective.
Yes.
Tracy was going to do a couple of pieces of work from the supply chain security perspective. And then the Jenkins X team were also going to do a couple of pieces of work from their perspective. And then we were also expecting some interoperability stuff that was going to go into that section as well.
Okay. In terms of Justin writing up a case study, I think he's very interested in this and that this is moving forward. I can't speak to his schedule, but that's a definite yes. And Tracy, I guess I can ping her and Jenkins X folks similarly. That sounds good. Okay.
So I will go around and remind people that they were going to contribute stuff. But we should also be reaching out to the broader community and getting a much bigger picture in that section.
Yeah, and I think with the case studies, what we were thinking of doing is promoting them individually as well as part of best practices. So I think that too will get people's attention, both in each individual case study, but also realizing that this is a possibility for them to do if they're interested. And then I think that will generate some interest in contributing more as well.
Yeah. And I know that Laurie is also doing some work to promote engagement, so can hopefully use that to get a few more people involved as well.
Yes, that is good. Okay.
All right, well, I don't think anyone else is going to join us for this session, so I guess we can wind things up now.
Okay, sounds good, Terry. Have a good day.
And you take care.